Hello, I'm Emerian Rich, and hello, Flint horror peeps. I hope you're having a great con, and thank you so much for allowing me to kidnap this for just a few minutes to read some of my book. Now, if you don't know me, I am the hostess of HorrorAddicts.net. We are a podcast that has been going on now for 16 seasons. We start again in April, which it is now. Check us out, HorrorAddicts.net. We talk about all kinds of horror. We've had Chris on the show. We've had many of your guests on the show. So check us out if you have a chance. Today I'll be reading a part of my second vampire novel called Dusk Warriors. It's part of the Night's Night series. And the place is hell, and the characters are the devil and his servant Ridge, who kind of wants to give up his position, but, the devil never makes that easy. So, lost your prey, eh? The devil asked. Well, I told you it was a tough one, but really, I don't think you should have been beaten after you killed his beloved Jimmy. You were dumb, you hesitated. Where is the drive in you? I'm done, Ridge said. Done? How are you done? You still owe me souls. I don't know, but I'm done. I don't want your money or anything else. This ain't worth it. I'm done. And when the drog come after you again, I'll hide. Or I'll fight. Or I'll die. I don't care. I'm sick of this. Ridge flicked his cigarette to the floor. The devil stared at him for a moment before responding. Ridge, I don't think you understand. You owe me a soul. We had a deal. You can't break that deal with me. You know what they say. Come on! Ridge kicked a nearby chair and headed for the door. You come on. The devil barred his way, staring at him intently with fire-filled eyes. Ridge braced. Perhaps he'd pushed it too far. Maybe he would get an end to his life after all, by the hands of the head demon himself. Satan placed a smoldering hand on Ridge's shoulder. I see. You're fed up. You want out. You need some convincing. He smiled, double rows of sharpened teeth gleaming in the dim light. I can be very convincing. Darkness grew in around them, and the room spun. When the light returned, they were in a different place. A deep pit stretched out before them, with hundreds of bodies writhing in razor wire. The victims tried desperately to leave, to sit up, to extricate themselves from the wire, but they could not. Hundreds of bodies, bloodied and raw, undulated in the pit of hopelessness. Those that lay still appear asleep or dead. Moans and screams echoed in the hot chamber, ripping skin and pus-filled sores, consuming Ridge's vision as he wondered, could he withstand such pain? Convinced yet? The devil asked. Ridge couldn't say a thing. He stood staring at the struggling bodies as they continued to fight their way out. Something bit him on his right forearm, and he moved his jacket sleeve up to see what it was. A rip in his skin ached and bled. Some sort of metal object protruded from the wound. Ridge plucked it from his skin, but it didn't come free easily. Something was attached to it and seemed to drag along his bone as he pulled. Yanking harder on the piece sent waves of pain throughout his arm and body. An inhuman moan escaped him as the object tore at the inside of his arm. The cord attached didn't seem to end. Stop this! Ridge yelled. It's only one piece on one location of your body. Think if you were in it all day, all night, forever. Think of the pain. Think of the agony. Think of the places it might creep. Sharp prickles shot through Ridge's groin and backside. Stop! Stop! Still want to give up our deal? Stop! No! Say it. Say what? Say you'll do whatever I ask to settle us up. Although in immense pain, Ridge hesitated. The statement, whatever I ask, seemed too wide for him. What if it turned into an unending life sentence? The pain increased, shooting through his right leg, making him fall to one knee. Okay. Okay what? Okay, I'll get you another soul. The devil smiled, placing his hand on Ridge's shoulder. Sharp claws dug into his shoulder blade as the room dimmed. The pit and tortured souls disappeared and the light increased. They were back in Satan's office. Stepping around Ridge to his desk, the devil sat in his chair, putting up his feet on the desk. Now, let's have some coffee, shall we? The pain in Ridge's limbs subsided, allowing him to stand without further trauma to his nervous system. Yeah. Ridge sat in an office chair, wiping sweat and blood from his brow. Now, it took some heavy-duty talking to himself to get out of that chair, but Ridge left hell as soon as he could recover from the pain of the razor wire and the devil head stuck in his body. Walking up through the tunnel toward the souls, he thought about his task. He wasn't sure he'd even return. If it was to die at the hand of the Drog, or come back to hell, he might choose the Drog. At least they would take mercy and make it quick. "Oh, Ridge," the devil called from behind him. Ridge froze, but didn't turn around. "What?" "I've got something for you, if you run into trouble." "Look," Ridge turned around, seeing the bastard was a few yards away. "I told you, I don't want your powers." "Relax." He tossed him a whistle. "Just a little instrument to aid you in case you run into trouble with this one." "A dog whistle?" Ridge looked it over and raised it to his mouth. "Stop!" The devil slapped Ridge's hand away from his mouth. "For hell's sake, not in here!" Ridge was so close to jacking the whole thing in. He looked over at the molten river to his right. Would it be easier to die instantly in a river of fire than the agony of the razor wire? Or putting up with this jerk? You need to take things in stride. The devil straightened Ridge's collar. Ridge grabbed his arm, shoving it off him. Eyes locked. They didn't move for a few minutes. Ridge stared, daring the bastard to kill him. "Come on, jerk, do it." Finally, the devil smiled and patted him on the shoulder. "Have a safe trip." That was from Dusk Warriors, the second novel in my vampire series, Night's Nights. You can find them at Amazon. They're for print or Kindle version. And you can find them also at emsbox.com. That's where you find out all about me. And don't forget to tune in to horroraddicts.net. It's a podcast that's been running for 16 seasons. And this season, we have some really awesome guests for you and some real cool cultural themes that have to do with all different horror from all around the world. Not just American stuff, it's new stuff that you might not have heard of. So check in with us at horroraddicts.net. And you guys have a great con. Thank you, Chris, for inviting me. And, stay spooky.